So I don't know if this is right or wrong, but this is how I cellar stuff for long-term use. I'll show you that later on in this video. There's a way of putting, making sure you keep the air out. But some people have had great success with just doing it the way I'm doing it, and actually even less. And they've had their stuff for like 5, 10, 15 years, and it's never went bad. So this is just how I do it. If you guys have any hints or ways that I can make this better, please let me know. So, well, anyway, on to the show. I use a big pot with a lid on it, and these two types of jars, they're both the same size, they hold the same amount. This one is better, I think, for like your plugs or your flakes, because it's taller than that one. And then that one's better for your other cuts, your finer cuts, things that aren't plugs or anything. I guess this one would work for coins or what have you, but that's still not the right term. And then this lid would go on next. It would go right on top of here. It's got a rubber gasket on it, sill, so that helps hold it. And then this lid here goes on top like that, and you seal it. And I also use a pair of gloves, rubber gloves, just latex. You can buy these, $4 or $5 for a whole box of them. We had those, and anyway, that's what we're going to be working with. Okay, I have all my jars in here, and I will start filling them up with water. Got them in the pot there. You just want it to cover everything. Fill everything up. I'm using some hot water. But you just fill all your jars up. Make sure that they're all filled in with water. They're all filled with water. Now we just want to cover the top up. I don't know, half inch or so of water, which is about filling this pot up. And then we'll take our lids, like that. We'll separate the gasket, just drop it in there. Put the lid on. These little gasket things, you can actually drop in between the cans. Okay, so I have them all in here. If you have hard water, I'm going to just turn this to high. If you have hard water, or well water, like we do, you're probably going to get some lime buildup. I don't think that the lime will hurt anything, but if you know different, let me know. Anyway, so we're going to bring this to a boil. When I do my bushcrafting and things like that, if you just, and you're trying to clarify, make water safe for drinking, you can usually, as long as you bring it, some people say just bring it to a boil, that'll kill everything. Other people say it has to boil for up to 5 minutes. So, whatever you think. Because the idea is we're just trying to sterilize. Some guys use alcohol, and I don't know, I guess if you use a good enough grade alcohol, it's going to evaporate and not leave any taste into the alcohol, or into the tobacco. But I don't want to take that risk. So I'm just going to do it this way, and that way I know everything's sterilized, and I'm not running the risk of using alcohol. But like I said, I don't know. Using alcohol, swabbing out the inside and the lids and all that might be just fine. To me, this takes I don't know if it takes any more time. It's just a lot less work to boil something than it is to sit there with a swabs, Q-tips, earbuds, heck, I don't know, depending on what country you're from, is what the name is, for me it's easier just to boil it for a few minutes than it is to let me put the lid on, it'll boil quicker than it would be to sit there and swab everything out. So just like in drywall, everyone has different ways that they do things, but I guess as long as the end result's exactly the same, then it's okay. Also, make sure that when you put your stuff in the container, that like those little round lids there, that any little rubber sill that you have is not facing the outside of the pot, but facing toward the inside. I don't know that really matters, but we don't want to ruin the little rubber gasket that's on there, because that's what's going to give us our seal, keep the air out. When you're done boiling, disinfecting your jars, you're going to need a place to put them. I like to use one of these because it lets the air, it's just a regular strainer, it lets the air come through, and you want to wash that off with something that has bleach in it, like that, or just use bleach and water. My kids are home from school today. It's Friday, but teacher conference stuff. I know. So yeah, use a strainer or something like that. If you don't have one of those, you can always use one of these. See that little grate in there? Sorry about the noise. You can always use one of those. Set that down. Either put a rag underneath it or disinfect it. Make sure it's warm because it's metal, and putting glass on metal, you don't want to risk cracking the glass because it's going to be hot as fire when it comes out. So you can, as long as airflow gets underneath, because that way it's going to dry your jars out quicker, and that's what you want. You don't want to put tobacco in wet jars. At least I don't want to. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so the water's starting to go. I don't want it like at a super hard boil, because as you can hear, the glass is jingling against each other. So I kind of want to keep it at like a simmer, if you will. It's still a boil, it'll still disinfect it. Once it comes up to a hard boil, I'm going to take and turn that down to, I don't know, I'll probably turn it down to 4 or 5, even 3 with the lid on it is going to keep it simmering away. So she's about getting there. She's really moving around. It's kind of like making eggs, hard boiling eggs. So just do what you would do to hard boil an egg, and then you should be alright. Okay, we're at a roiling boil right now, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this down to probably 4. And then I'm going to take and stick this lid back on her and let that go for about 5 minutes. I also use some of these tongs here, got the rubber grips on them for this. You can wait till the water's cooled off and leave the lid on it, but I find if you do that, it takes longer for it to dry. If you get everything out while it's hot, then you're going to be alright. These things are ready. So I've got this towel, clean towel, and I'm just going to start taking and putting all the lids that are on top, take them out, just turn them upside down. What I mean by upside down is you've got this side, and then you've got this other side that actually goes onto the bowl. Turn that side down, like that. And since they're hot, they're going to dry quicker. So I'll just do that.